From 1979 to 1987, you could argue that Sigourney Weaver was the biggest box office woman in Hollywood because you not only had Alien, then you had Ghostbusters, which was massive in 1984, and that was another huge hit for her. And then, of course, 1986, 87 was Aliens, and she got nominated for an Academy Award for her role as Ripley in Aliens. When I told you that, you're like, really? I was like, yeah, I looked it up. She died. I didn't know it either until I started doing research. That's the one time she got nominated for and as prolific as her career has been, that's the closest she's come to winning an Oscar was for Aliens. This was Sigourney Weaver's time. This was Sigourney Weaver's world. We're just living in it. She was everything you could encapsulate about a heroine, about a final girl, about a leading character, a leading woman. Because you remember, while there's still a lot of work to be done in terms of equality, even in filmmaking, people don't scoff at the idea that Scarlett Johansson can lead a franchise or lead a big film these days. She's going to lead the new Jurassic Park film. People don't scoff when you say, I'm trying to think of other, big name, like when people say Amy Adams is going to lead a film. Okay. Like no one,
Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron. Yeah. Just, you say when you mention Jodie Foster, everyone's like, ooh, Jodie Foster. Doesn't even bat an eye. That's not what happened in the early 80s. Women didn't get to lead franchises. Women did not get to lead blockbusters. Sigourney Weaver was the first. And you mentioned when they were doing the Alien sequel, they didn't even know they had her. James Cameron had written a script involving Ripley and found out at the end of it that 20th Century Fox had not even bothered to ask Sigourney Weaver to come back at that point. And he's like, the fuck? My entire script is built around her. And so she found out about this, and I don't want to revisit our Aliens episode, but she's like, oh, you wrote a whole sequel about me. Awesome. I want $1 million, which was unheard of for an actor, for a woman at that point in time. Unheard of. Oh, you wrote a whole script about me. You want me to come back for the sequel? Great. Give me $1 million. And James Cameron's like, there's no way we can do this without her. And Fox is like, okay, back up the Brinks truck. Here you go, Sigourney. Sigourney Weaver not only created this role, because you can't be Ripley without Sigourney Weaver, period. Can't. Impossible. She created the greatest women's hero character in sci-fi or horror history, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
Mine too.
And then outside of that, just in terms of the acting, she broke barriers that had never been. She crushed the glass ceiling. I'm not saying Scarlett Johansson, when she got cast in Black Widow, needed to send a bouquet of flowers to Sigourney Weaver. But every woman who has led a franchise, and I'm talking the big blockbuster franchises since then, owes at least a small thanks to Sigourney Weaver for what she did in Aliens, and then by proxy doing in Aliens, because she broke the ceiling. So it's wide reaching beyond her performance, which is brilliant. I also got to pay credit to the woman, the savvy businesswoman.
Yes.
Who was just like, yeah, I'll do it. Sure, I'll keep doing these movies. Pay me a fuck ton of money. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And it's because of the quality that she brought to it too. I think she did show she paved the way by saying I'm also going to act my ass off. It's going to be good. Name another action star that gets an Oscar nom for a sci-fi movie. It doesn't really happen a lot. You know what I mean? Every now and then it'll happen. It does not happen a ton. She's an incredible actor on top of all of this. And we belabored it in both the Aliens, and even Alien 3 films. Even Alien 3, which we said is light on story, is great on Ripley. Boy, she carries a movie. She can. I grew up, just like you, with Indiana Jones, with James Bond, with the Goonies, all these action movies that are fronted by men and all that stuff. But my favorite action star since I'm a kid has been Ellen Ripley. That is my number one. If anyone, who's your favorite action star? Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley. Every time, without question, she brings a humanity, a strength, character, She's funny in her way, in a very like Sigourney Weaver way, kind of the way Jack Nicholson's funny, the way Jack can only be Jack, right? Sigourney can be Sigourney in her own way. It's such a special thing that this franchise has. It's a miracle the franchise can survive outside of her, but clearly the numbers say that yes, it can, and that's fine. But it took that anchor, Sigourney Weaver being the anchor, that actually kept the franchise going, that actually said, we'll keep making them even beyond Ellen Ripley's character, because the character of Ellen Ripley is so strong and can command such attention that this franchise can live on without her. That's that. Talk about she's mothering. That's ultimate mothering, is what Sigourney Weaver has done with Alien.